Welcome back. Scotty Mack of Rubicon Adventure here on my very first trip to Moab, Utah. From Flagstaff, Arizona to Moab, Utah, it was one full tank of gas in the 392 XR, and I got 17.1 miles per gallon with absolutely stunning scenery on the drive up. But the highway is flat, and there's a lot of downhill coming out of Flagstaff. I came for the Easter Jeep weekend and to see the vendors' prototypes and the trails. That made the hotels difficult to find, but the trails are all worth it. And I had to get out on the trail right away. So I tried Steel Bender at the main entrance, and there are Jeeps everywhere in town. It is packed. So I went south by Ken's Lake to jump Steel Bender mid-trail and ride it up to a native heritage site. The scenery is beautiful anywhere you go in Moab, and this native heritage site has actual pictographs, which are paintings on it, or ink or berries or dye of some sort, rather than scratching, which are called petroglyphs. Moab, Utah, Easter Jeep Safari. Moab, Utah, first day, Steel Bender, the Flat Pass Trail. Be careful of traffic. It's Easter Jeep weekend. There's all sorts of vehicles out here. Scotty Mack of Rubicon Adventure saying, come along with us on Easter Jeep Safari. Coming up, first stop at Steel Bender are the pictographs of the natives. Here they are. Wow, there's a whole panel here. Some of them are faint. So these pictographs are painting on rock, and they're tucked in this overhang. So even though we've had a little bit of precipitation, they stay dry, which is the reason why they've probably been preserved rather than washed off. It's a fantastic panel here. Looks like Steel Bender's an in and out trip, so let's see where this goes. Those pictographs were absolutely wonderful to see them still exhibiting a lot of the colors 1,000 years later. And of course they have those spaceship alien images there, which always cause a lot of talk about what that could mean. This is why Steel Bender has ended. We have the road damage, which has been incident of the 4 major storms that came through since August, and we're at the end of the road. So Steel Bender was really cool for those pictographs. Wonderful introduction here to sand and rock, slick rock. Easter Jeep weekend is going to be dust free. You can see all this ground here is saturated with water. There's another storm coming in 3 days, but right now the hiking path is now an aqua path. You need to have your Keens or your shoes to the rock, and look at that fall. What a nice waterfall that must be. It's carved twin slots out of the flow. That means it breams off of there really fast. Beautiful. Look at that. We have another slot canyon forming right here, and the Jeep is at the end of the trail. Steel Bender is truncated this year due to problems with the road and the washouts. Well, Steel Bender would normally proceed up here. As you can see, Unless you have single track, you're gonna get caught in this, and that'll be a tumble and a roll. You might be able to carve out some bank there if you had some warning ahead of time, but all that's loose sand and probably won't. Oh yeah, I can see why they cut this off. I'm gonna have to come in and build it up again. Steel bender has been reduced to a single track here. You can see the erosion from the rains really has taken out a chunk there. I mean, if you put two wheels up in the rough, you could do it, but if you didn't know and you're new, like a lot of people here on Easter Jeep weekend, you're gonna find yourself rolling into the creek here. It's a beautiful creek though. I wonder if there's any fish in it. Easter. Thanks for coming along on my very first adventure in Moab. Boy, impression sure is that these trails are groomed, they're well marked, and they're well maintained, where all sorts of vehicles and hikers can participate, and there's no problems and conflict at all. I really like this place, and I think I should have planned a full week here rather than this. But we have a storm coming up in 2 days, and I have too much horsepower and too little skill to hang around for that. I would definitely get myself in trouble. So that's Scotty Mac signing off. Thanks along, coming on the venture.